What will it really take for you to get it? What is it going to take for you to understand that whatever a person is showing you is who they really are? What is it going to take? And understand that I'm not saying this thing to you in an unkind way, but rather just telling you, even from my own experiences, guys, believe what you see. Believe what is displayed before you. Believe what they show you. Believe their patterns. I heard someone say that. Believe someone's patterns, not what they say, but their patterns, their habits, what they do. Believe their consistent inconsistencies. I've done a video about that. Sometimes you're dealing with people, you can't prove exactly what they're doing, but they're inconsistent. They're consistently inconsistent, and a lot of times that should be enough. But what will it take for you to understand that this person is not who they're cracked up to be? What is it going to take for you to understand that this person does not respect you? They don't care about you. They're not a good friend. A lot of times the things that you see, that's a precursor. That's your preview for what's to come. And it gets worse. It really gets worse. If you're with someone and they're showing out and they're betraying you and they're lying to you and they're hurting you and they are breaking your confidentiality and all these things, you have to look at that. Whether it is a friend, whether it is a partner, whether it is somebody that you're trying to do business with, when you find out things about them and things comes out about them and they are behaving a certain way, believe it. What will it take? How much longer will you continue to be with someone who's lying and cheating and disrespecting you? How long will you continue to fight with other guys and get into argument with other guys about, your girlfriend and whatever she may be to you, but she has all this other stuff going on? How would you marry someone who disrespects your family, who's disrespecting your mom or your sister or your brother, a person who's trying to pull you away from your family and your friends? Understandably, sometimes family and friends can be toxic. But what happens when you have a nice family? You have a caring family. A family just wants to know her, but she is being very distant and she's being disrespectful to your family. Can you really take this woman down the aisle with you? Because if she disrespects your family, she will eventually disrespect you. If he disrespects your family, he's going to eventually disrespect you. And he's going to throw it in your face. They will throw it in your face how you talked about your family to them or how you allowed their family to do this and that. It is a sign of weakness. And sometimes people feel like they have to throw their whole families under the bus to prove their love. That's not love. That's a toxic person. That person is bad. How often will you catch that friend talking about you, lying about you? The friend that always seems to get along with all your enemies, all the people that hate you. Your friend is always the one that's able to come and tell you what they said. Always have a reason why they have to be around this person, how they got to work with this person. As I said in the past, how often will you be with that person that you can celebrate them and you can help them, but they can't do it with you? What will it take for you to learn? Because a lot of times warning comes before destruction. That's a proverb in the Bible. Warning comes before destruction. The things that you see, the things that's come up, it's your warning, it's your answer. But a lot of times we will surpass that and ignore it and think, well, maybe not. But the more you do a well, maybe not. The more you keep staying with somebody who is a repeated serial offender of trust and loyalty and all that good stuff and respect, you solidify something with them. And they're going to be like, oh, okay, then I can keep doing this. If they're over there cheating, they're not going to feel they need to leave this person because you keep saying sorry. So the more you say, I'm sorry, the more you keep saying it's okay, and being with them, the more they can strengthen this relationship over here. The more risk that they can take. They can go ahead and plan the weekend or plan the next rendezvous with this person because you are not going anywhere. You keep showing them that you're going to stay right there. The more you continue to allow that friend, especially when they get caught, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, or whatever, or however they play it, or maybe they don't apologize to you and you keep them around, the more you allow them an opportunity to stab you in the back again, and this time probably kill you. You have to understand, jealous and insecure friends are going to get worse as you go through your life. Either you're going to live a life where you hinder yourself and you muzzle yourself to make them happy and shrink yourself down to make them happy. Or if you continue to do things well in your life, if you continue to have this person in your life, now let's say you may be single, and then you continue to harbor, that's what it is, harbor your enemy, and now you bring them into your life when you are dating, and you continue to harbor this jealous person into your life when you're in a marriage, and you harbor and bring this person into your life when you're building your business, and when you've gone up, and when you have your house and you have your children. Don't you know how much that jealousy and hatred for you grows, and they can sabotage everything? You must think long term. Don't just think now. Think of how this person could affect your life to the point that it could affect your children. It could affect your marriage. It can affect your relationships. All it takes is a person to just tell a lie. Don't harbor the obvious. Sometimes women or men stay in relationships where they are completely drained. And they spend so many years arguing and fighting that they get used to that. They get used to the toxicity. They get used to that cycle of fighting and making up, makeup and breakup. But love is not supposed to hurt you. And so what happens, you're so used to being with them and being drained and depleted that you feel like you have to stay with them. You can't imagine your life without them. You know, it's kind of like when slavery ended in the United States, there were many slaves that did not want to leave their slave masters because they're used to being slaves. They don't know what else to do. Their sense of independence and all of that, they've been robbed of it. They've never had it. So some of them stayed back. And so that's why many people will stay in relationships. This is all you've known. You've lost your sense of identity. You've lost who you are. You forgot who you were before you met them. You may not have had everything, but you were getting up and you were better than where you were. Even if they give you nice things right now, you may say, oh, well, I'm in a house with them, or I have this, or I have that, or I have this. But even with all the stuff that they're giving you and the big old house and whatever, you're miserable. So you must have had at least some peace, or at least something where you were okay. Even if you were not all the way living your best life, you didn't have them bringing you drama. There's some people that will come to your life and pretend to be a certain way just enough to lure you and to make you be with them. But they're bad people. They're horrible. And a lot of times these individuals that are liars and cheaters, you look in their background, they've been doing this a minute. They've been doing this a long time ago. They were stealing Crayolas out the box when they were little. And you know, little things happen like that when you're young. But they didn't do that. They kept doing other things. They'd be sneaking, looking, finding out stuff. They learn the art of they become connoisseurs of manipulation. There'll be little things that they were doing throughout their lives from they were little. And they haven't grown up. They're either been overindulged or rejected in their lives. And so they just live this life. They're unhappy people, but they find nice people that they can sort of bleed them out. And they're so good at it because they're used to being hurt. They're used to being hurt and rejected. So rather than learning how to heal from it, they begin to inflict it on other people. They may better themselves in a certain way, kind of go to the gym, do whatever, make themselves look good, get educated, look nice, take care of their body, but they weaponize it. They pretend to be nice individuals, but it's just to lure you in. Because truly, the master's going to slip. Because they've had time. You will be paying. It's really like emotional and mental displacement. Because somewhere in their minds, they may pretend to be good And they may act like it and they may present that way, but they're not. They're unhappy. They're miserable. They know that they're liars. It's got to be hard to know you're a liar. Know that you're a person, you have no character. You're a person, you are sleeping around with other people. DNA just like Skittles, just nasty. You know what I mean? Not DNA, but just their bodily fluids. I think if we had the opportunity to see the amount of fluids and little things in exchange that people have when they've been with other people, because there's always microscopic bacteria and little things that's around. I watch a lot of different shows and they show you on a microscope what's really on a towel or what's on a countertop. You'll be just freaking out, But just imagine if you can really see that with someone that's just going around and laying around. And if you just imagine that on that person, they won't be that attractive. When you know that this man or woman's been out there cheating or laying around, you know that someone's put their bodily fluids on this person. Someone done stuck their tongue in their mouth. They have stuck their stuff wherever. It's still there. And that's why they act up. Because they have been contaminated. And then they bring all that to you. What is it going to take? How many times are you going to go to the clinic? How many times are you going to be going to the clinic because your pH balance is off, women? Because sometimes if he's out there sleeping around with some woman who has a sick vagina, as I've said in the past, and you take care of yourself, he's bringing you all of that. Oh, he used protection. He may say that, but trust me, he's probably doing stuff too. And she's probably putting her mouth in all kinds of different places. What will it take? Right now, you can go to the doctor. Guy, you go to the doctor. Men, you go to the doctor and you get some STD. And for you guys, it's terrible because you have to get rotted. You have to put the swab down in your stuff. And I'm so sorry. But right now, it may be something that you can get rid of. But next time, it won't be. Some of you, you're already suffering. You have something that is a lifetime. And because of that, you feel like you have to stay with this person. Some guys will tell you, might as well stay with me because nobody else is going to want you. She may tell you that, but you don't have to stay with somebody despite whatever they bring you. What is it going to take? Because some of you, you're at this point where you're right at the edge. It's going to take one more thing. You're going to slip off. When you are trauma bonded to someone, you'll stay with them. Even when you see that they are not it. If you've caught them in more than 2 lies, one is bad enough, but you've caught them in more than 2 lies, and they keep doing stuff, that person is not going to change. They do things against you, that person's not going to change. That friend stabs you in the back, you caught him in a lie, God allowed you to discover the betrayal of your friend because he is warning you. He allows you to discover the betrayal of this person, what they've done. Some things are not up for discussion. God is showing you, you need to get out of here. Because 5 years down the line, he's going to do something crazy. 5 years down the line, she's going to do something worse. If you marry this woman right now, you're going to have children with her and things are going to be worse. You have a child with this man, your life's going to be hell. Sometimes God is trying to save you before they really take on their true form and probably kill you or falsely accuse you. A person that's dishonest and shady, there's so many risks to them. Not only that they're a threat to you, but the people that they will be involved in probably align to these people. Whether it's friends, associates, business partners, whatever, a lover on the side, all the lies that they tell. So there is a web of lies and deceit that is created around you. And sometimes they can be messing with people that's unstable and crazy, that will destroy your life. Bring drama to your job. And some of you, you have jobs where there is zero tolerance for any type of drama. What is it going to take for you to learn? What is it going to take for you to understand? A lot of times your fears of what if, how will I do this? I don't have anything. Pray and ask God to help you. Sometimes you feel like you're not strong enough. Pray and ask God to help you to get the strength to do what you need to do and to deliver you out of the grasp of such a person. Because ironically, you look around in your life and think, how did I get here? I was stronger. I had my mind together. But when you're entangled with people that's like that, people that lie, manipulate, is always doing little things, jealous and stuff, that is a dangerous and dark spirit in which they operate. That's why they can do the wicked and evil things that they do, like you're a perfect stranger. The late Dr. Miles Monroe said, a person of poor character will tell you something today, do something else tomorrow, and promise you something else. And you may be in that cycle. It's not only their character, but it tells you by what they're influenced by. And dark, evil spirits in a person that continue to like follow, they're just crooked, they're just always doing stuff. They'll eventually do something really, really, traumatic that will change your life. Because it's not that they're under control of demons and demons or have them under control. No, this person chooses evil. They like to do wrong. They like to lie. They like to sneak. There's some people that will literally be with you, not because they're attracted to you, but they want to have, let me tell you, there'll be men that will date you and they're not really attracted to you. You're not their type. Women will do that too. You're not their type. But what they want to do is make you look at them as if they're the prize or you're the best thing. And they will love on you and make you feel like you're the most beautiful thing just so they can trap you and get you right where they want you. But in the meantime, they'll be cheating on you with someone that is their type. Sometimes you marry that man or that woman and she continues to cheat on you with someone that look like their type. And you're going to know their type because maybe you would have dated them and you would have seen a type of person that they used to be with before based on past pictures or stuff like that. Or when they get mean enough and cruel enough to tell you what their type is, to point out people that you don't look like. And so sometimes they'll do that to reel you in because there's something about you that they want. The biggest cheaters always want someone loyal. They want to have a home. They want to have someone they can go home to. But truly they're not attracted. And how you gonna know? They're gonna come out their face and say something. They begin to criticize you, criticize what you look like, say something about you. You're gonna realize you were never their type. They just wanted somebody that they can say, okay, this person is going to hold me down no matter what I do. And sometimes you are their type, but they have no rule over their own soul. The Word of God says a person who has no rule over their spirit is like a city without walls. Any and anybody can come in and out. That's what it is. Oh, I'm not going to cheat anymore, but they cheating. Oh, I'm not going to call them anymore, but they still calling. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but they still betray you as a friend. Oh, I don't know. Then next thing, what happens? When they run out of apologies, the apology is going to turn to blame. It's your fault now. The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all their ways. That's man or woman. So first they're apologizing, and then they change to blaming you for it. That's double-minded. Oh, I'm not going to do it again. They do it again. Oh, I won't do this again. Oh, well, if you didn't do this, I wouldn't have done that. Now they're shifting. Double-minded and crazy in spirit. And what happened when you try to keep up with a person that's up, down, east, west, north, south, southeast, southwest? You're going to lose yourself. So understand that when things are revealed, it's for a reason. Sometimes it may take you some time to make your moves. Maybe you can't immediately go. There may be extenuating circumstances. Everybody's situation is different. But all I can tell you to do is pray and ask God to lead you, to really be honest with where you're at and say, God, I need your help. Give me the strength I need. I am hopelessly in love or infatuated with this man or woman. I can't seem to get away from them. You have some of them, they'll mistreat you. And when you start to pull back, they pull you back in with, the love and the words and all the stuff, or even with, sex. They'll mistreat you. And when you're paying attention to them and loving on them, they don't like it. But if you pull back, now they want you. And every time you get ready to move on with your life, they'll dump you. And then you start to get strong. You cry and they ignore you. And then you start to move on with your life. And then they pull you right back in. Ownership. There's people who like that you like them. That's it. If you ignore them, they like you. This is a person that's used to rejection. When you're loving and you're kind and you want to be with them, they reject you. But when you reject them and you're mean, now they like you, because that's their love language. Abuse, being mistreated, being ignored. But then why should you change yourself to keep them? A lot of these people, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, they just got gashes and holes in them. It's like you're dating this toe back, toe down, crash test dummy. And they're trying to act normal, but they can't. They don't know how. And so you will begin to turn into them, and then they're like, I can't believe it. Oh my God, what happened? You happened. That's what happened. You begin to understand that where you are at and what you're becoming is not who you are. And you pray and ask God to help you and get the therapy and the help that you need. And take the plunge and be like, I'm out, and don't turn back. Then you're going to see how strong you are. Because I believe that it's better to hurt as you're healing and moving forward. It's better to cry and all of that and go through all those phases, healing and moving forward, than to stay. Because you're going to cry anyway. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be losing time. You'll be getting more creases in your face. You will probably put on weight or lose weight. You will not be who you used to be. Your hair will be breaking. You'll be stressing out, getting into arguments, doing all this stuff, trying to defend your turf. You as a woman should never have to be sitting there arguing with any other woman. You as a man should not be going there getting into confrontations with other men. You lose your life really quickly. And we're in times where people are super wicked. So the thing you have to look at, you can't take that risk. And let me tell you, when you pray, you ask God to help you, He'll show you how to do things in decency and in order. You ask Him to give you an opportunity. You may get an opportunity to get a job and bounce, just be gone. Something may come up where that person they have to leave. And I would say this, especially to those of you that said that you're believers in the Lord. If you pray and ask God to give you a way out of no way, and then that man or woman want to break up with you, don't try to hold on to them. Sometimes the only way you're going to get free is because this person is going to leave you and break up with you. And don't try to force them to come back. Sometimes you focus on what they look like. You're focusing on them right now, but God sees what they're going to become later on down the line. People that's been butchered and killed and chopped up, beheaded, dismembered, thought this person was so great. And I guarantee you that there have been endless warnings before it got to that. People that's ended up being falsely accused and having their whole life destroyed, losing their business, losing their money, losing their children, losing their house. Before it got to that, there were signs. But what people do when God has shown you immediately what's before you, if you are only looking at what they're trying to throw out in this moment, when you don't realize God is trying to save you from the murder-suicide 7 years down the line. God is trying to save you from you losing your mind, or you being married to this person and you're going to lose yourself, and they're going to be able to put you away in some facility, and you can't get out unless they take you to tell you you can come out, unless they sign the papers because they're your spouse. He sees that secret nasty thing about that man or woman in which he may infiltrate your children, or she may do that. When the wickedness of someone is revealed to you, and you may forgive them. I'm not saying that it's always one and done. It just really depends. I personally think if you find them cheating on you, you need to end it. That's my opinion, though. I can honestly say that I feel like there are times I've wasted my time with individuals because I always felt like I should forgive. I had a big thing within me that I didn't want to be a person that held grudges. So I didn't realize, though, that, I can forgive a person but not necessarily be with them. But I can honestly tell you guys, I've never been dumped before. I've never had somebody just leave me. I've left. And the reason why it happens is because, I don't know, I've never really realized it until now when I'm talking about it. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be in a committed relationship. I cared about the person, I mean, now, like in high school, it didn't really matter, right? Because I was just like, who knows about love in high school? I didn't, but when you get older, you want to be there. But once that person does certain things and show me, when I was younger, I would just be like, bye, like forget it. I don't want to do this. And it wasn't because I wanted to be mean or I didn't care about them, but I didn't grow up with girls. I grew up with boys. So, and I don't like all the of arguing and fussing. I hate that kind of stuff. So I'll just be like, I don't want to be with you no more. I'm finished. That's how I was. Okay. And then I remember some of my friends were like, oh, you're so on. You need to be more understanding. That's the worst mistake I could have made. So I would stick around. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm too hard. Because that's what they said. Oh, you're kind of cold. And when they said that to me and said I was kind of cold, it hit a nerve in me because I was like, I don't want to be a cold and unforgiving person. So I tolerated more than I probably should have. But always in the back of my head, I know I can leave. I know I could do it. But what will happen is sometimes I will stay too long. And what will happen is you get entangled that even though you're strong enough to do something, all of a sudden you're not strong anymore. All of a sudden you find yourself, it's not about your strength. It's not about your ability. It's not about what you have. It's not about that. It's a spiritual thing that you find, no matter how strong-minded you are, if you stick around in toxicity and deception and you like, all right, I'll forgive you, and you stay with them, it's going to, it changes you. It's going to deplete you. But I thank God through all of that he's always given me the ability to snap out of it. It's only through his power. I believe that God, definitely that scripture that says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. I believe God would just come in and guard my heart and just shut it off. Boom. Not literally, obviously, but all those feelings, like, I always know when it's going to end. The minute you make me cry, oh, that's the beginning of the end, because I don't cry a lot. But if I begin to hurt like that and I'm crying and I keep talking and you keep doing stuff, I know it's the beginning of the end. And eventually that's what will happen. Just like that, nothing. Now, some people may say, well, you never loved the person, blah, blah, blah. No, guys, I used to wonder about that too. But as I grew closer with God, I began to realize he protected me. And he will do that with you too. Some of you know what I'm talking about. You can love, you can be caring, be there, committed. And if the person keeps doing it, you can literally tolerate a lot for quite some time. And that's their mistake, right? Because then they're thinking, oh, you're not going anywhere. But when you leave and when you make your decision that you're done, you are all the way done. There's nothing that they can do. And I believe that is a protective measure and something that God gives to us. And it's not even like you're hating the person. You're just finished. It's over. And they'll be shocked because they just think that the old stuff is going to work. They're going to come shucking and jiving and saying things. It's not going to work because it's done and it's finished. And I do strongly believe that people who have the gift to love and to have, to really love you and to be truly committed while they have that, and it is a rare gift, and why it's important that you protect that so that not anybody just come and feed off of that. I believe at some point God will just come in and protect you. He just forms a hedge around you and gives you the strength to be able to move on and do the things that you need to do, and to grow and to cry in due season and move on and live, learn from it, go through the process of forgiveness, because you don't want to move on in your life and then you end up being with somebody. You end up bringing all your baggage and talking about what Lance did and what Melissa did and Don't nobody want to hear that. That person may have worked through some things in their lives to become a better person. Here you are, bringing your weepy story and walking around like a wet blanket. Nah, you got to air out. You got to air out. We have to be able to look back on our lives and see what we did wrong. What made us choose the individuals that we chose? What made you be in this relationship? Sometimes you look back, you're just ashamed, right? But number one, what made you choose these individuals is how they presented themselves. They didn't come to you like no ragamuffin in the beginning because they know you wouldn't have been with them. They hide all that ragamuffin tendencies and they're so sweet. But what I want to say to you guys, just to really wrap this up, is what is it going to take? Some of you have children. Don't put your children at risk to be with anybody. Don't put your daughters, your sons at risk to be with some man or some woman, a woman that hates your daughter, that's competing against her. Listen to your children. Listen to what they're telling you. Yes, sometimes children can be jealous, but when you know that's not how your children are, all of a sudden your daughter that used to be close to you, your son that used to just come over and hug on you, all of a sudden they can't be near you. All that is different because you have this wicked witch that hates your daughter, makes you feel like you being close to her is weird, or you being close to your son or affectionate is weird. Oh, you must be sleeping with him. Oh, the minute a man or woman say that, you need to kick them to the curb. They got some issues and it will only get worse. Protect your family, protect your household, protect your lineage, protect your seed that has not yet left your body. Don't go out there and end up impregnating a orangutan or some Captain Kangaroo become your baby daddy. Or you have a child with him, he's your ex-husband. Okay? Because that's when you're going to see who they truly are. Now you have to deal with all the craziness of trying to co-parent with, an antelope. Meaning they're wild, they're hooved in nature. It's a nightmare because sometimes there's stuff that we can face. You got to co-parent now. But even with that, God can give you peace. Even with that, you don't have to deal with all that stuff. There are people that subject themselves to a lot of things because they think because they're Christians, they can't reinforce or cut some things off. God creates organization. He has the laws. He has these things in place, guys, for a reason. So he will move and he will do things on your behalf for sure. But there are things and organizations and things that he has in place for you to use. You may need to call 911 EMS. You may say, Lord, help me. I'm not feeling well. You can pray, but guess what? You need to dial 911 and call the ambulance or get in your car and go to the doctor as you pray in some cases. But what is it going to take, ladies and gentlemen, for you to learn? Because understand the things that God has shown you right now. He's warning you. You're just seeing bits and pieces. Don't let them apologize things away to you. We're not talking about people that make mistakes and they're really sorry, they apologize, and they show you through their actions that they have changed. We're talking about habitual serial sinners, serial liars, cheaters, jealous friends. Think about your future. You can't take this friend here. You got to drop them off. Perhaps they were a good friend when you were in high school, but now you're coming into yourself and you're in college. They're getting jealous because maybe you used to be the one that depend on them for things and they don't expect you to grow and branch out. So now they're jealous and they're trying to sabotage you. You're doing well in ministry. The person that brought you to the church, they're jealous of you now because they didn't expect you for God to use you and for you to flow like that. There's some people, they'll be with you because you're a loving person, but they are not loving. Have you ever noticed how sometimes normally people have the opposite of themselves in a relationship? Now, sometimes that's good because you can complement one another. But sometimes they're literally married to this wet blanket, sourpuss mosquito that'll just drain everything out of their life. They're a mean person. The husband can be nice, but the wife is horrible. Or the wife is nice and the husband is totally mean. Because these type of people look for the opposite of them so they can drain them, marry them, breed, have some kids, and then they just get comfortable. So many people, according to the song that someone reminded me of, that they forfeit so much of their peace. The song goes, what a friend we have in Jesus, all our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Listen to this part, guys. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pains we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. You hear this last part? Listen again. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pains we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Stop that cycle. God is with you. You're strong enough. You can do it. There's so much happiness and things that you may be forfeiting because you think you got to keep the roach. No, you don't. You may say it's too late for me. I'm old. I'm washed up. But it's never too late for you. You still got breath in your body, don't you? You can have the peace you want. Sit on a porch by yourself. Do your thing. Be happy. Pray and ask God and He will help you. Somebody may not believe in God, but I'm talking to mostly believers. Those of you that don't believe in God, well, how's that going? But I invite you to trust in Him and know that He's here. There's no God. How in the world did we get up here? Because we are not sitting on a foundation. We are in space, circling around, not getting dizzy. God will help you. And you don't have to stay where you are. So again, I'll ask you, what will it take? What is it going to take for you to finally learn? Don't let it be fatality. Don't let it be some lifetime sickness. Don't let it be you losing your mind and doing something crazy. All right, guys.